What's happening, YouTube? What's happening? It's going to be about Nas's musical influences. So let me get them out because they're kind of long and lengthy. And I will add on, I've heard him talk in different interviews. He mentions his father as a big time influence. His father's a musician. He also mentioned the Barge. He gave them a shout out. So I'm just going to read the names and I'll come back and then we can go into it and do deep dive. Rick James, Miles Davis, Jackson 5, A Tribe Called Quest, Big Daddy Kane, Stevie Wonder, John Coltrane, LL Cool J, Slick Rick, Public Enemy, and a nod to Biggie and Tupac. He is a juggernaut in his style, because actually when I listen to his flows and his vibes, they loan themselves to not surprising, not surprising. He's one of the most sharpest MCs ever. Obviously, you got to throw Rakim in there too, because you can't talk about Nas's influence without mentioning Rakim. It's got to be. But you can hear a lot of influences and stylings and artistry on what he has done as an artist, and how it's impacted, and how he was able to incorporate so much, and and just his musical repertoire. He's one of my favorite MCs ever. He's probably in my top five, I gotta say. I put him in there with Chuck D and Rakim, so for sure, and LL. And I think Ice Cube. I think they round on my top five. Because I go more towards a certain era of hip hop, and also where it was, you could, you'll showcase your skill set, your words, your lyrical content, etc. So, but interestingly, when I hear that with Nas, I mentioned Rick James, because Rick James for hip hop was huge musically with R&B, pop, funk, what he did, and that aesthetic. You can definitely see that type of swag, that vibe. Jackson 5. It's hard to avoid Jackson 5, early Michael Jackson stuff. Is hard, really, because the influence, the dominance, and the ability to you know the Miles Davis, John Coltrane. When I hear rappers, MCs mention that, it puts me in the firm mind of R&B vocals. Something about Philip Bailey, Steve Arrington, when they would say that too. Those horns were like a tone. That voice was a tone. It was a sharp press. So they were used in syncopations in different ways, but they both were fiery. So you could definitely see that. Slick Rick, one of the greatest storytellers in hip hop. So you can't really, Slick Rick does not get his due. He's one of the baddest ever. He had an uncanny, a unique ability. I've talked about, obviously, with Stevie Wonder, the vibe, the aura of his music. You can't even ignore that. Tribe Called Quest, Q-Tip's impact is definitely felt on a lot of rappers that you sense, so you could definitely see that. Big Daddy Kane, that voice, that boom, that aura, definitely. Public Enemy, the same thing with Chuck D. That's the Bomb Squad, the whole sound, the whole. If you were in a particular era and a mindset, you could not help yourself with that. And it was that urgency, it was that fury, it was that chase, it was that it just connected. So definitely something that you could definitely, you could definitely vibe to. And yeah, I would definitely say Nas's musical influences. That makes all the sense. Plus, there's others, but you can definitely hear that though. Yeah, definitely, and that's why one has had one of the most successful careers ever. Much respect. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like, and hit that membership, because when you do requests like this come true, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.